Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. One of my favorite people, not only in business, but just in general. You're one of those guys, Richard Wakim. I love to see you, man. You know, I always enjoy seeing you.
I love to see you too, Kevin. Thank you for having me.
It's like my buddy Richard's here. You know, he's kind of like becoming my brother from a different mother. So always glad to see you. Start off by telling you what I consider the amazing story of Brilliant Energy, which is at brilliantenergy.com. I'm a client now, long-term client, and love what you guys do for our family.
Well, I'm glad that's the case, Kevin. As we all know, Brilliant Energy is a retail electricity provider that serves the residential and commercial customers throughout the state of Texas, and we're very proud of it. We've been doing this since 2007. Now, in addition to our core business, Kevin, we have many passions, and I've shared a lot of them with you on the air here in the last few months. One of the passions that we like to participate in and engage in is our care and love for pets. We do realize that we've made some significant effort in helping the people that are on the front lines that truly actually do the work to care for animals and their welfare and their health. And one of our latest relationships that we forged here is with Emancipet. Kelly McCann, their vice president of Houston, is with us this morning to educate us on Emancipet and what they do and to help us extend more care for our pets in the state of Texas.
I like the name, by the way. It's very clever.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I wish I'd thought of it.
Kind of tell us your elevator speech. By the way, the website is Emancipet, and it sounds just like that. EMANCIPET.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, Emancipet, first of all, thank you for including me in today's show. Emancipet is new to Houston, but we've been here less than a year. We are a nonprofit organization on a mission to provide spay, neuter, and preventive vet services that are affordable and accessible for all pet owners.
Very good.
I have to tell you, we are not new in general. We are new to Houston, but Emancipet was founded in Austin in 1999, and we actually have clinics in Austin, Pflugerville, Killeen, Houston, and soon to be Philadelphia. And so it's a long-standing organization with a great track record. Over the 17 years in existence, we have provided over 250,000 spay-neuter surgeries. And just to let you know and let the listeners know, in Houston, we're really excited. Coming up on a year, we have already served over 8,000 pets and the humans that love them. And I'm happy to say that of those 8,000, we have provided spay-neuter services to about 4,000 of those animals.
That's amazing. By the way, I noticed on your brochure that you've got microchip identification. I need that for my grandson because he can get around. But this brochure is amazing. I'm looking at your costs, and I'm just at awe what you do, and I think it's fantastic. Go right ahead, Richard.
Kevin, what I think is very unique about Emancipet is that both that organization and Brilliant Energy share one common denominator, and that is that pets do deserve quality preventive care. These folks at Emancipet have done a fantastic job throughout their organization to achieve that goal. They work, they toil day in and day out to prevent diseases, to help spay and neuter, to provide multiple mobile sites throughout the state. So that they've done a fantastic job in that regard.
Is that how you primarily operate? It's through mobile services?
Well, I will tell you right now, in Houston, we are in a temporary location. It is in the parking lot of the Ripley House at 4410 Navigation. And what we have is a really beautiful, specially designed 50-foot-long gooseneck trailer that serves as our clinic. It has a full surgical suite as well as our wellness clinic area. But as I was sharing with Richard before the show, sometime this summer, within the next 90 days, we will be moving into a brick-and-mortar space in the East End and putting down some more permanent roots in the East End. And then we'll be moving the gooseneck trailer to a second location somewhere in Houston. After about a year of seeding that neighborhood, we'll move into a brick and mortar, and we're going to do that a total of 3 times to establish 3 clinics here in Houston, given the need. And I have to say thanks to Richard for, of course, Brilliant Energy's dedication to animal welfare in general, but this great partnership with Emancipet, we're really grateful for it and looking forward to a very long and productive partnership, not only for Emancipet, but for the city of Houston, because it's just like Brilliant Energy, we help people as well as pets. And recognize that bond, that human-animal bond.
By the way, if you look at it in emancipet.org, you look at the website, you look at this trailer, that's pretty substantial.
I joke with my friends, it's a pimped-out trailer.
That is huge.
It is very substantial, 50 foot long, and I invite anyone to please give me a call. I'd love to take you on a tour. It's quite impressive. And to think about that, we've served 8,000 pets through a trailer in a parking lot. Think about what we're going to do once we get into our brick and mortar locations. It's going to just be a greater expansion of services. And that's part of what we do is we strive to make services accessible as well as affordable. And part of making it accessible is going into lower income neighborhoods that don't have a lot of veterinary care in those neighborhoods. And then, of course, looking at our prices, as you mentioned, Kevin.
Amazing.
They're great prices. They range from a $5 office visit to $13 for a rabies shot. And our spay-neuter surgeries range from $35 for a cat neuter to $65 for a dog spay.
It's amazing.
It really is.
Really,
Thank you.
Really impressive.
We're very proud of that.
So is that your primary way of expansion is through the trailer?
That
you go to
is-
an area, test it. If it works, we build.
That is exactly right, because what we do is we purposely go into neighborhoods that have traditionally not had vet care. And some of listeners may be surprised by this, but in neighborhoods with a poverty level income, 90% of the animals are not spayed or neutered. And it's partly due to lack of ability to afford it and lack of accessibility. But there's also work that we do in terms of outreach to help people whose values and cultures may not traditionally include spaying and neutering and providing preventive vet care to their animals. But we know that everybody wants to do the best they can for the pets they love if given the opportunity. We just try and give them an opportunity.
I love it. I think it's great. Richard?
One thing that I'd like to add to what Kelly has mentioned is that in addition to the traditional spay and neuter and the medical care that Emancipet provides, they have something really interesting about them is that they offer an array of training and support services to help other animal welfare organizations as well.
Thank you for mentioning that, and my CEO, Amy Mills, thanks you for mentioning that since I didn't. Emancipet, given the 17-year history of our organization, and in addition to just that history, I have to tell you that Emancipet does lead the way in spay-neuter techniques and the development of greater medical efficiencies. And then also the way that we do business is a little different than other animal welfare organizations because of our foundational belief that people do want to do the right thing for their animals. And that very positive, optimistic view is something that is included in the training of other animal welfare organizations to help them develop better efficiencies, better procedures, and better ways of communicating the need for these services in communities that may not be used to receiving these kinds of services.
Absolutely. I think it's fantastic, really fantastic. Emancipet, MANCIPET.org. Really awesome. By the way, you do doctor visits. I mean, you let people come in because their dog just isn't acting like he's supposed to act. And do you have a vet that treats them, or how does that work?
We are certainly only providing licensed veterinarians. That's who sees all the animals. Now, we don't do just general vet care. If your dog's limping, we don't do orthopedic surgery. Right. But I will tell you, for example, yesterday, our clinic was open. A man came by. His dog had not been feeling well. There was some... I won't get too graphic. There was some discharge.
Yes, this is a family show.
Yes, so sorry. We'll keep it clean.
Yeah.
It was not something that we could service, but we actually provided the link and called another veterinarian and worked out a deal so that animal could get care. So we don't do everything, but we do help people get care for their animals.
Richard, you're at brilliantenergy.com. And by the way, you set it up where my listeners at priceofbusiness.com and our friends at usdailyreview.com can get a gift card if they sign up through there. But final thoughts before we end up the segment.
Absolutely. I engaged with Kelly and earlier before the show, and I love the calling that this lady and the organization have. See, they're not in that pet care business just because they want to do something. It's because it's a calling that they have. They feel good about doing it and making an impact on society, not for humans, but also for the pets of the society here of Texas.
I love it. Thanks to both of you. Great topic as always. All right, when we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.